What's up, guys? Happy Wednesday. We have the dynamic duo today. So we will take on over and up. Okay, this will be 4 rounds, 4 time, with a 15-minute time cap, okay, of 15 box jump overs or broad jumps if you don't have a box, a chair, or something to get up and over. And then 20 dumbbell thrusters. These dumbbell thrusters can be done with a single dumbbell, a double dumbbell, a barbell, okay? Anything that we can go into that squat to overhead is what we're looking for. So again, we're going 4 rounds of 15 box jump overs and 20 dumbbell thrusters with a time cap of 15 minutes, okay? To get our fast and furious, guys. It's a really fast couplet, and we're looking for that heart rate to really get up. Breathing is going to be pretty tough, but we'll give you some tips in a little bit. So we're going to start with some warm up. So we'll go 30 seconds of each movement. We are going to start with inchworm. So in that inchworm, we want to remember that we want to kind of roll our hands down. We're going to walk with flat palms, okay, all the way out, and then you're just going to walk those feet to the hands and then keep moving forward. Now, obviously, if you don't have enough space to keep moving forward, go ahead and just stay in place where you will walk your hands back to your feet. Beautiful. Let's get one more in. Really thinking about keeping that midline nice and tight. Beautiful. After that last one, we're gonna go into a cradle stretch. So we're gonna stand nice and tall. You're gonna lift that knee and the ankle up, okay? Hold it like that gentle baby that you have always wanted. Some of us, okay? We're gonna switch legs, getting that nice big pull, opening up that outside of the booty, getting ready for those thrusters. Good. One thing we want to make sure is that we're not rounding the back too much, right? We want to still stay tall and open the hip all the way. Beautiful. We're going to go into our all-time favorite of that good old crab walk. I like to call it the tricep burner. Okay, so or the shoulder breaker. That's a good one too. Just 30 seconds here. If you don't have a ton of space, you can just move forward and back, or even just lifting your hips up off the ground in a static pose, okay, will be just as efficient, okay? So if you need to take a break, you can just put your booty down and then rise back up. Beautiful, and rest. We are gonna go into those tall duck walks, okay? We did these on Monday. So with the tall duck walks, we wanna make sure that the knees are directly over the ankles, and we're gonna have that little bounce, okay? So again, if this range of motion or this position for your knees don't work, okay, we'll just do reverse lunges or even walking lunges, okay? So the coaches are gonna go down and back. Good. So short and small steps are what we're kind of looking for here, okay? It is gonna be pretty tough, especially if we're not used to being in this position. So just work in whatever time frame or range of motion that you can. That way we don't feel any pain, but more so just discomfort in those joints. Yeah. All right, guys, we're gonna go into a rotational plank. So we are gonna start in the traditional plank. What you're gonna do is just gonna roll kind of and get into that open space. So, yep. While we're here, we're just gonna kind of take an open all the way up, beautiful, and then come back down. Remembering that we don't wanna get into too much of a flowing motion. We do wanna stop in that mid plank so that we can open up with a very intentional kind of position. Good. So again, if maybe that full range of motion doesn't work for you, you can always just kind of lift the hand up just slightly off the ground, right? Where we're not having to open up all the way. Beautiful. And even your sides out. Beautiful. We're gonna go into our Samson stretch, okay? Good old Samson, okay? We're gonna take that higher lunge, right? Hands are going overhead. And you'll see that the coaches are opening up their shoulders all the way, their chest, their rib cage, right? We're really trying to open everything up while still targeting that back hip flexor, okay? So if that position, again, isn't good for you, you can drop the knee, okay, and kind of not have to stress out the hip flexor as much. While we're overhead, you can take those big kind of stretches over to the side, work on the balance. Beautiful. Good. Even yourselves out. All right, our next little thing is going to call for some space. If you don't have space, that is perfectly fine, okay? We'll give you some direction as to what to do. So we are gonna do some sprints, okay? Basically, we're just getting ourselves off the ground, right? CrossFit is all about being functional, and if you ever find yourself on the ground, you're gonna hopefully need to get yourself back up at some point. So we're just gonna do that in a quick manner. So find a little bit of space. If you don't have space, right, you'll just perform air squats, but we're still gonna start on the ground. So our first position is gonna be belly down, okay? So basically, as you can see, coaches' bellies are down, okay? When I say go, they're gonna stand up and they're gonna take off, okay? They're gonna go to you, so don't be nervous, okay? It is gonna be very fast. And then they'll just walk themselves back, okay? So what we're looking for here is just trying to get up off the ground quickly and then start taking off. So if you can't or you don't have space, you're just gonna pop up and then you'll perform 10 air squats, okay? In 3, 2, 1, and up. Beautiful.
Coming at you.
Coming at you. This could be the intro, you guys running at the camera. All right, guys, our next one is going to be your backs on the ground. Your feet are gonna be facing the space that you're running towards, okay? This time, on the way back, okay, you are going to do bear crawls back, okay, guys? In 3, 2, 1, go. Good, and then we're gonna bear crawl back. So in a bear crawl, we wanna make sure that the palms are flat on the ground, okay? Tushy is up to the sky, head is tucked, okay? And really just reaching every single step. Beautiful, cool. Our next one is gonna be a crossed leg sprint. So you're sitting in that nice little kindergarten circle time. I'll read them a story. The story goes like this: 3, 2, 1, sprint. Oh. Good. On the way back, we're gonna do long lateral lunges. So you're gonna face a side and you're just gonna take that big lateral step, shifting the hips back, something similar to like a Cossack squat, okay? You're gonna rotate the way that you face every step. That way you're getting, right, the lateral lunge on each leg. Woo! Okay, we have one more, okay? We are gonna start sitting on our knees, okay? We are gonna be facing the space that we're running to. Good, yep. Oh, nice. All right, guys. And then on the way back, we're gonna do knuckle draggers, okay? So in 3, 2, 1, up. Oh my God. Oh, we have Jeremy here. He's awake and ready. Good. For our knuckle draggers, guys, we're just taking that step out, just like a stagger step, okay? Front leg is completely straight. Back leg is just slightly bent. We're swooping the knuckles as close to the floor as you can get them. And then we're raising the roof and celebrating that we still are mobile human beings. All right, so that was our fun little get bouncy action, okay? We are gonna go into a Project Squat Better. This one is Project Squat Better number 13. So if you're keeping track, welcome to number 13, okay? We're gonna start with 5 sit-up to pike. So basically we're starting with our feet out in front of us, okay? After you perform that full sit-up, you're really just gonna reach for your toes and perform the pike. So the motion will start flat on your back. As you sit up, you'll just go into that full pike position. You're gonna do 5 of those, okay? So hands start overhead. As you sit up, go into the full pike. Beautiful. So 5 here. Again, we wanna focus on using the abs, so we're not trying to swing the arms as much as usual, and we do wanna get that full stretch in the pike position. Good. We are gonna go into 10 quad pose to hip lifts. So we will start with getting onto the knees. If you can get your booty in between your feet, that's awesome. If you cannot, go ahead and sit onto your feet, okay? If that is even kind of a struggle, you can bring like an ab mat, you can bring a pillow, you can bring something to kind of lift your hips up, okay? Or just don't go all the way down onto the feet. From here, okay, basically what we're gonna do is you can bring your hands, you bring your hands to your ankles, and then you are going to roll the hips up and then press the hips all the way to the sky. Yep, Good. So if bringing your hands on your ankles doesn't work, you can bring your hands to the floor, okay? After you hold for a few seconds, you're just gonna come down. You're gonna get 10 of these, okay? Again, range of motion for everyone is gonna be completely different, right? What this feels like for everyone is gonna be different. And all we wanna make sure is that we are opening the hips up all the way. So that could just even look like something a little bit different where we're really just kind of sitting up and opening the hips up as well. Good. Beautiful. I couldn't even sit like this, so I'm glad that they're showing it and I'm not. Beautiful. After those 10, we're gonna go into a split stance rock. So we are gonna go onto one knee, foot is going to be out wide. Good. Perfect. From here, basically what we're gonna do is you're gonna rock yourself forward, okay? You're gonna rock yourself back, and then you're gonna sit up and get a tall chest. So up on the knee, yep, like Julie, good. And we're gonna do that 5 times on one leg and 5 times on the other. So again, this is not a fast movement. We're really looking for that space in the groin, okay? So finding those kind of limits in terms of when we rock back and when we rock forward, okay? Again, never moving to when it hurts or it strains. We want it to feel good, but we also want you to feel it, okay? Feel the burn. Good. Yeah, counting is hard too. So really, Jeremy switched. Good. Right, the wider the legs are in that split stance, right, the more stretch you're gonna get, okay? Obviously, if coming up onto the knee hurts, you can stay down on the elbows or even the palms and just kind of rock back and forth as well. If you hear any thunder, it's probably my belly. Just so you guys know. They're like, what is that noise? Nice. Alrighty, and last but not least, after we get done with the other leg, we are gonna sit in a straddle pose, okay? So feet are wide. Sit in a straddle, yep. Okay, we're gonna do a sit-up. This time we're gonna go into a pancake. So instead of going into the pike, we're just gonna reach through to the top. So we're gonna go all the way back into our sit-up pose, starting. And then we will sit all the way up and you will fall all the way through. Good. Again, moving nice and slow. We're getting 5 here, okay? Making sure, 1, that we're getting that nice stretch in the pancake, right? And that we're getting some activation in the abs and opening the hips up all the way. Awesome. And we all know that pancakes are inferior to waffles, so we'll just leave that there. Alrighty guys, perfect. We are gonna go into our movement prep. So we have a couplet today. It's gonna be a fast-paced couplet, right? We're moving from one movement to the other, just 2 movements today, our box jump overs and our dumbbell thrusters. So we are gonna get started with our thrusters actually. So we're gonna start with just 5 air squats. When we perform these air squats, okay, I want you guys to imagine that you do have a load on you, right? So we want to envision if we did have dumbbells that we are gonna pick up very soon, right? We don't ever want that load to get too far away from us, right? Whenever we have some sort of weight, right? If I were to try to hold out a dumbbell out in front of me or even here, it's gonna feel a lot heavier than if I could keep it onto my midline or the center mass of my body, okay? So when we think about that, we don't want our chest to fall over too far because then that weight that potentially we will have is gonna feel a lot heavier. So these 5 air squats, I want you to focus on keeping that chest really, really tall, shifting the hips back and staying in that midfoot to heel, but also allowing your toes to stay in contact with the floor. So we're gonna go 5 air squats. Beautiful. Good. While we're doing these, I want you guys to focus on your breath as well, right? How can we use our breath to better this movement, to make it easier, right? We want to hold that breath at the top, As we go down, we're holding. As we come up and we exert energy, we want to exhale that breath. So go ahead and grab your dumbbells. We're going to go into the front rack position. We're going to get 5 dumbbell front squats, okay? So if you have a double dumbbell, right, go ahead and go into this position. If you have a single dumbbell, we're just going to do single arm dumbbell thrusters, okay? So you would just hold 1. It's pretty simple. Okay, we're going to go into 5 just front squats here, dumbbell front squats. Imagine, remember, we want to focus on the breath. Thinking about how we can control this movement and make it easier for ourselves. Nice, very nice, good. Here we're gonna go into 5 strict presses, okay? So getting that overhead position, really thinking about how we can lock in the midline, right? How we're not breaking at the spine or rounding at any point. And that when we go all the way overhead, right, the ears come in contact with the biceps, okay? Then we're gonna go 5 push presses, so we're gonna dip and drive here. Good. As you can see, Julie's starting here. She's getting that nice dip where her hips come back and her knees aren't just coming forward, right? We want to go into that nice power position where we can essentially get a bunch of hip power out of it. Good. Last but not least, if you need to take a break, go ahead, but we are going to go into 5 full thrusters with those dumbbells. So our thruster is the full front squat into the overhead, okay? Few things here. If you're finding yourself rounding in the upper back, that load may be just a little bit too heavy, okay? So one, maybe just use 1 single dumbbell, okay? Or even just go into air squats, okay? A thruster really is just a little bit of a scale up from an air squat, right? So go down to whatever you can get, potentially 20 dumbbell thrusters in no more than 2 sets, okay? So you would think about going 10 and 10, okay? That is a good rep scheme to kind of keep moving here. Cool, we are gonna go into our box jumps. Now, if you're at home, you may not have this nice fancy Rogue box that we have here. You may have a chair, you may have a cooler filled with refreshments. You may have, I don't know, a bench, right? Something that you can kind of get onto that is stable, but maybe you don't want to jump. That's completely fine. Let's move to step ups, okay? If you don't have anything you feel comfortable jumping onto, Julie here has some bags. These can be dog foods, it can be your children, it can be anything really, okay? Obviously we're not jumping onto them, we're jumping over them, so it's like a fun family workout today. So children are laying here, okay? What's gonna happen is Julie will just take 2 broad jumps, right? She'll jump over the first child, she'll land, she'll jump over the second child. That is 1 rep, okay? That would be the same as Jeremy doing a full box jump over, right? So he would jump onto the box and then come onto the other side. That would be his 1 rep. So, okay, 2 variations. Whichever one you choose to do is up to you, okay? So before we get started into that, we are just gonna prep with 10 small jumps, okay? So all we're looking for is just getting those ankles, the calves, okay, the bounces happening. So we're just gonna go into 10 small jumps. If we have a box, we're gonna go into 10 step ups, okay? If we don't have a box, we're just gonna go into 10 lunges, okay? Good. In both, okay, here, we're planting the full foot on the ground, right? We're using that front kind of glute, hamstring to kind of get ourselves up onto the box, or even when we go into that lunge to push us back, okay? Good. Then we are gonna go into our box jump overs, okay, or our broad jumps or our box step ups, whatever variation you choose today is perfectly fine. We are gonna get 5 of them, okay? So again, if we're doing broad jumps, I'd like to see 2 before it counts as a rep. So even if you don't have any objects to jump over, you can just do it in a space that allows you to kind of get a little bit of distance, right? Perfect. Right, in our box jump, Jeremy's doing a really good job of making sure that both feet are landing completely on the box, okay? As you can see, he's not standing to full extension. In a box jump over, you do not have to, okay? Although if you are doing just traditional box jumps onto a cooler or something, I would advise you to stand up fully, making sure that your feet are under you before you take off onto the other side and the cooler opens up and then the party starts. Okay, so, speaking of parties, we're ready for ours, okay? Over and up is about to happen, okay? 15-minute time cap, okay? Again, we're going 4 rounds of our 15 box jump overs or broad jumps, and then we're doing 20 dumbbell thrusters, okay? Again, this is fast and furious. We want to make sure that the movement patterns here are either done in 1 or 2 sets, okay? So everything should be fast and furious, and you should definitely be done in 15 minutes or less. So that's our Wednesday's workout. Guys, set your clocks for 15 minutes and get your party started. It's hump day. All right, we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Bye.